One is reaction of metals with water. Reaction of metals with water. When metal is reactive with water, metal oxide and hydrogen gas is formed. What are the products formed here? Metal oxide and hydrogen gas. Children, how metal is reactive with water? When metal is reactive with water, metal oxide and hydrogen gas is formed. Which gas is liberated here, children? Hydrogen gas. This reaction is very important, children. Practice it with writing. Okay? This reaction will not stop here, children. Again, this metallic oxide reacted with water, then metal hydroxide is formed. Okay? Then metal oxide reacted with water, then metal hydroxide is formed. When metal reacted with water, the first step is formation of metal oxide along with hydrogen gas. Whether this will stop here, children? No. This metal oxide again it reacted with water, then metal hydroxide is formed. Remember this general equation first. Okay. Metal first reacted with water, then metal oxide and hydrogen gas is formed. After that, this metal oxide again reacted with water, metal hydroxide is formed. In reactivity series, which metals are more reactive, children? Sodium and potassium, right? Yes. These metals, that is potassium and sodium, reacts violently with water. Okay. Metals like potassium and sodium react violently with cold water. Normal cold water, when you keep potassium, it will catch fire. This is such an exothermic reaction, children. So much heat energy is liberated in this reaction. Okay. In the case of sodium and potassium, the reaction is so violent and exothermic in nature. That is, a lot of energy, heat energy will be liberated in this reaction. Okay. And the hydrogen gas is evolved here, right? Yes, this hydrogen gas immediately catches fire. Write the reaction, children. When potassium is reactive with water, what are the products we will get? Potassium hydroxide. KOH means potassium hydroxide. H2 means hydrogen gas. Okay. Along with a lot of heat energy also liberated. Got it? In the case of sodium, when sodium is reactive with water, sodium hydroxide, hydrogen gas and also heat energy is liberated. Children, these two reactions are very important. Practice these two reactions, these equations by writing. Okay. Then the reaction of potassium and sodium is over. And then which one is the next element? Calcium. What about calcium? Calcium also reactive with cold water. Okay. You all know that calcium is less reactive than that of sodium and potassium, right? Here. Calcium also reactive with cold water, but the reaction is not so violent. In this case, hydrogen cannot catches fire. Okay. Because it is not that much vigorous reaction, children. Okay. The reaction is not so violent as that of sodium and potassium. Okay. In the case of calcium, it reacted with cold water, but the reaction is not that much violent. Here you can see the equation, children. The reaction of calcium with water is less violent. The heat evolved is not sufficient for the hydrogen to catch fire. Calcium plus water gives calcium hydroxide plus hydrogen gas. Which gas is evolved here? Hydrogen gas. Okay. Calcium starts floating because the bubble of hydrogen gas formed stick to the surface of metal. In first case, that is in the case of sodium and potassium, as soon as you keep it in water, what will happen? Hydrogen gas is formed, right? That hydrogen gas, that reaction is highly exothermic in nature. So the hydrogen gas that catches fire very easily. Whereas in the case of calcium, when it is reactive with cold water, the heat is not so much to catch the fire. Will not produce fire. So for sodium and potassium, it will catch fire, but in the case of calcium, it will not catch fire. Learn Remember, all these small point will come for 1 marks question and multiple choice. Okay.